friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. In today's video, we are going to look at adjective phrases in English and how to use them correctly. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. Now, first of all, what is an adjective phrase? Well, an adjective phrase is a group of words that does the work of an adjective in a sentence. Now, take note of this definition. First of all, an adjective phrase is a group of words. Every phrase is a group of words, and this differentiates an adjective phrase from an adjective. Now, how do we define an adjective? An adjective is a word that modifies a noun or a pronoun, or you can say that an adjective is a describing word. An adjective describes a person or a thing. For example, if you say that Junior is a good boy, then you have used an adjective in describing Junior as a boy, the type of boy he is, a good boy. The word good is an adjective describing the noun boy, telling us the type of person Junior is. So, but then that is an adjective, is a single word. An adjective phrase is a group of two or more words. Whenever you have two or more words doing the work of an adjective, it's no longer simply an adjective, it's an adjective phrase. Then, of course, in subsequent lessons, we are going to look at the adjective clause. You have an adjective, you have an adjective phrase, you have an adjective clause. But today we are concerned with an adjective phrase, and we have been able to differentiate it from an adjective. Now, we are going to look at other grammatical structures that can form an adjective phrase. From the definition we have given of an adjective phrase, you will discover that every group of words that does the work of an adjective can be described as an adjective phrase, provided that it meets the characteristics of a phrase. Well, that's a topic for another day. You know, if you really want to understand what a phrase is a group of words used as a single part of speech. So you have a noun phrase, you have an adjective phrase, you have a verb phrase, you have an adverb phrase, you have a prepositional phrase, and so on and so forth. Now, today, the spotlight is on an adjective phrase, and we say it is a group of words that does the work of an adjective. And by doing the work of an adjective, it means that an adjective phrase is capable of describing a person or a thing, just like an adjective. Now, let's begin to look at the various grammatical structures that we can call an adjective phrase in an English sentence. So we are looking at the formation and examples of adjective phrases. And this means we want to look at the various structures that can form an adjective phrase. One of them is a group of words with an adjective as the head word. All right? Just as I earlier mentioned, when you say Junior is a good boy, you are using an adjective. Now, if you add the word very to good, you form an adjective phrase. The head word is good. Very is an adverb that modifies the adjective. But when you put the two together, you form an adjective phrase. Junior is a very good boy. Very good is a group of two words, and that makes it an adjective phrase. Now let's look at other examples. All right. I want to really use certain um, certain tools to really draw your attention. Now, example I, Chinede is a very intelligent boy. Now, look at the word very intelligent. It is made up of two words, very and intelligent. And here, this is very is a modifier. So in grammatical analysis, we represent this with M is a modifier. And then this one is the head word. We can represent it with H. So the word intelligent is an adjective and is the head word. So when we have a group of words with an adjective as the head word, that can form an adjectival phrase. All right? That forms an adjectival phrase. Please don't mind my writing here. Yes, adjectival phrase. So this is an adjectival or an adjective phrase, if you like. And then what does the adjective phrase do in this sentence? It describes the noun boy. It tells us about boy. So now let's eliminate this adjective phrase and say Chinede is a boy. Now, naturally, the listener who is curious may want to know more about Chinede, and he or she may ask you, what type of boy is Chinede? He wants to know more about this boy. Chinede is a boy. There are different boys, but is what type of boy? Is he a good boy, a bad boy, a dull boy, a brilliant boy? You know, he wants you to describe the boy Chinede. And so in answer to that, you know, you can come up with the adjective phrase, Chinede is a very intelligent boy. You have specified the type. So what an adjective or an adjectival phrase does is to specify the type of person being talked about by describing him or her. All right? Then let's look at the second example. Example II, the car is extremely expensive. Now, extremely expensive is an adjective phrase made up of the words extremely and expensive. The word extremely is an adverb, and the word expensive is an adjective. Of course, you need to understand that an adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb. Here, this adverb is modifying the adjective, giving more information. You know, extremely expensive is telling us how much expensive, to what expense, to what extent is it expensive. It shows us the degree, you know, the degree of it being expensive. All right. So, but then the two together, extremely expensive, give us an adjectival phrase. All right. Okay. So let's now move on to look at the next type of grammatical structure that can form an adjective phrase. All right. Okay, so here we have a prepositional phrase can also form an adjective phrase. Let's look at examples. Example I, the man with a staff is the village head. So here, with a staff is a prepositional phrase structurally, because a prepositional phrase is a combination of a preposition, represented by the letter P, and you have a determiner and a noun here, constituting what we call a noun phrase. All right? So a preposition combined with a noun phrase will give us a prepositional phrase represented by the letters PP, prepositional phrase. P plus NP equals PP. P stands for preposition, NP stands for noun phrase, and PP stands for preposition, prepositional phrase, please. Now, that is the structure. But then what function does it perform here? When we examine this sentence critically, we discover that this prepositional phrase is performing the function of an adjective, is doing the work of an adjective. Now, how do we know? Let's eliminate it. The man is the village head. Now, the question naturally is which man? Now, let's assume you have about 3 or 4 men, a group of men, and you are referring to one of them as the village head, and the person you are talking to doesn't know the village head. So when you say the man is the village head, he or she will ask which man. And then you look at the village head in that assembly is the one holding a staff. And so this can be used to describe the man. And you say the man with a staff is the village head. All right? So that actually is an adjectival phrase because it is doing the work of an adjective. It is describing the man. And it is not just an adjective, it is a phrase because it is a group of words. All right? Now let's look at example II. The car near the wall is mine. Now look at the word near the wall. The car near the wall. So near the wall, okay? Now structurally again, it is a prepositional phrase. Near is a preposition. And then we have the wall constituting a noun phrase. All right? And as we earlier stated, where you have a preposition and a noun phrase together, they form a prepositional phrase. And that's what we have here, near the wall. This is the structure. But then what is the function of this grammatical structure in this sentence? This is where we now identify it as an adjective phrase. Now, let's again use the elimination method. Let's eliminate this phrase here. And we say, the car is mine. And the listener asks you which car. You identify the car you are talking about by using the phrase near the wall. That car is parked near the wall. So that particular car near the wall is mine. That's the one I'm talking about. All right? So that is the work of an adjective to describe a person or a thing. And this group of words help to describe the car we are talking about. So it's doing the work of an adjective. And why it is not just an adjective is that it is a group of words rather than a single word. All right? If you say, well, the green car is mine, you are using an adjective, the word green. All right? But when you use a group of words to try to describe the same car, you are using an adjective phrase. All right. So that is how we identify adjective phrases in English sentences and how we learn to use them correctly. All right. So let's now move on. Let's now move on. Now, the next grammatical structure that can form an adjective phrase is an adjective followed by a prepositional phrase, where you have an adjective. For instance, the word fair. Look at the word fair. Fair. Now, this is an adjective, then followed by a preposition. Fair in complexion. All right, fair in complexion. All right. All right, fair in complexion. So this together will form an adjective phrase. If you say that Susan is fair in complexion, then you are telling us the type of person Susan is. And so this group of words describes Susan, thereby doing the work of an adjective. And because it is a group of words, it is a phrase. All right. Okay. So that is what it is. Now let's look at other examples. All right. Let's look at other examples. Now let's look at the specific examples. God blesses people who are pure in heart. Pure in heart. The word pure is an adjective. All right. Then in heart is a preposition, pure in heart. This is a prepositional phrase, in heart, because this is a preposition plus a noun. That is another structure of a prepositional phrase. It's either a preposition plus a noun or a preposition plus a noun phrase. That gives you a prepositional phrase. So where you have an adjective together with a prepositional phrase or followed by a prepositional phrase, that can form an adjective phrase by virtue of the work it does. All right. Now, God blesses people who are pure in heart. Now, this is a description. When you say John is pure in heart, for example, all right, you are describing John. All right. John is pure in heart. Is a description of John. And so it's an adjectival phrase. All right. Now let's look at the second example. The kingdom belongs to the poor in spirit. Now, poor in spirit is an adjective phrase. All right. It's an adjective phrase. Poor in spirit. All right. So that is another grammatical structure that can form an adjective phrase where you have an adjective followed by a prepositional phrase. That gives you an adjectival phrase. All right. That gives you an adjectival phrase. Okay, so that's the way it is. So let's now move on, all right? Let's erase this and move on, all right? Now, another type of grammatical structure that can form an adjective phrase is a group of words containing a participle. A group of words containing a participle. Yeah, now you need to understand what a participle means. You have two types of participles. You have the present participle, which ends in ing, is a verbal form. It ends in ing. Then the past participle ends in ed or any other form that is equivalent to this. All right, so for example here, if you look at the word cooking, the word cooking, all right, so that has an ing, and of course a participle is a verb form that is used as an adjective. So if you talk about a cooking utensil, then you are using cooking to describe the utensil, all right? Or a frying pan. The word frying becomes a modifier. So that's what a participle does. Now, having said this, we are looking at a group of words containing a participle that can form an adjective phrase. So let's now go and look at specific examples of groups of words containing participles, all right? Now, these are the various examples. The first one, the girl standing at the gate is the principal's daughter. The girl standing at the gate. That's example I, all right? The girl standing at the gate. So standing at the gate is a group of words containing a participle. The participle here is standing, all right? Then how does this function as an adjective phrase? Now, it functions as an adjective phrase by doing the work of an adjective while it is a group of words. We define an adjective phrase as a group of words that does the work of an adjective. And then how do we know this does the work of an adjective? Now, we know that because it describes the word girl. Let's eliminate this, and then we have the girl, okay, standing at the gate. This goes together, okay? So we eliminate all. The girl is the principal's daughter. The question naturally is which girl? Of course, you find a number of girls in a school compound, but there's a particular girl standing at the gate, and that is the girl that you are referring to. So how do you describe the girl? The girl standing at the gate is the principal's daughter, all right? So standing at the gate is a group of words that does the work of an adjective by defining or describing the girl we are talking about. And so it's an adjective phrase. Now let's look at the second example. The person knocking at the door of your heart. Let's underline it. Let's combine all this. The person knocking at the door of your heart is Christ. And so if we remove this, what we have is the person is Christ. And you say, which person are you talking about? I don't know the person you are talking about. And you say the person knocking at the door of your heart, is Christ. All right, so knocking at the door of your heart becomes a group of words that describes the person we are talking about, because he is the person who said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. So you say the person knocking at the door of your heart is Christ. So knocking at the door of your heart is an adjective phrase, even though it is just a group of words that contains a participle. The participle here is knocking. All right. So that is what it is. All right. So let's move on. All right. Now, the next grammatical structure that can form an adjective phrase is a phrase containing an infinitive. That is an infinitive phrase, if you like. For instance, to do, to do, to work. All right. That is an infinitive phrase, which we can call IP, an infinitive phrase. All right. Now, an infinitive begins with the preposition to, followed by a verb. So a phrase containing an infinitive, or what you can call an infinitive phrase, can also be regarded as an adjective phrase when it does the work of an adjective. Don't forget, this same infinitive phrase can function as a noun. For example, you know, to A is human. So here you discover that the word to A is an infinitive phrase, but here it is not doing the work of an adjectival phrase. It is doing the work of a noun phrase, because here it is the subject. This is the verb, and this is the complement. All right? Okay. But if you look at the word to sing, you can see that it can also be used as a subject, but at the same time, it can be used as an adjective phrase. Well, let me take you to the specific examples where we learn how this same infinitive phrase becomes an adjective phrase. Let's look at the examples one by one. Now, look at example I. We have no work to do. To do is the infinitive phrase here. Now, watch that this shares the same, a common boundary with a noun. The noun here is work. Now, if we say we have no work, someone wants to know which work you are talking about. And so to do describes the work we are referring to. When you say we have no work, or if you say we have some work, which work? The work to do. All right, to do then describes the work we are talking about. Then example I, he has no money to spend. To spend now does the work of an adjective by telling us about the money. If you say he has some money, then somebody will want to know which money are you talking about. It could be money in the bank. It could be money in fixed assets. But here, to spend describes the type of money you are referring to. If you say he has no money to spend, he could have some fixed assets. He might have money in a fixed deposit account, which he cannot spend right away. So if you say he has no money, it doesn't, then you have to specify the money you are referring to. And probably you are simply saying that he has no money to spend. You know, money he can spend right away. He doesn't have that. Meanwhile, he has a lot of assets that you can convert into money. But since those are still in fixed assets that you cannot immediately spend, then he has no money to spend right away. So to spend describes the money that we are talking about. To do describes the work that we are referring to. All right? So you can see how an infinitive phrase can be used as an adjective phrase. Okay? So here we have come to an exercise. I want you to pause the video at this point and try to, do this exercise. All right, I give you some time and then I'll be right back to give you the correct answers. But first, look at it. Underline the adjective phrases in the following sentences. This exercise is meant to test your knowledge of what forms an adjective phrase. All right, so Fatima is a very fat woman. Junior is an exceedingly bright, brilliant student. Call me the girl with a bell. The book on the table is mine. They live in a very big house. The man sitting in that office is my uncle. Olu killed a very long snake. The women of this village are respectful. Mary is fair in complexion. The boy in blue jeans is Mary's brother. So pause the video and try to underline the various adjective phrases in the sentences. And I will be right back to give you the right answers. And then you can test yourself and know how far you fared in this exercise. All right? Now, welcome back. And let's now, let's go through this exercise together. Underline the adjective phrases in the following sentences. Fatima is a fat woman. This is number one, okay? Fatima is a very fat woman. The word very fat is the adjective phrase here, very fat. Here you have very is the modifier and fat is the head word. So this fits into our first category of grammatical structures that can form an adjective phrase. All right? A group of words with an adjective as the head word. Now, number two. Junior is an exceedingly bright student. Exceedingly bright. This is the adjective phrase. And again, it belongs to the first, is similar to the first one. This is the modifier. This is the head word. Number three, we have call me the girl with a bell. So the adjective phrase is with a bell. This is actually a prepositional phrase that forms an adjective phrase. How do we know it's an adjective phrase? It's an adjective phrase because it describes the noun girl. If I say, call me the girl, you are likely to ask me which girl, and to describe the girl I'm talking about, I will specify that it is the girl with a bell that I am talking about. Now, number 4, the book on the table is mine. Now, the adjective phrase here is on the table. Again, structurally, this is a prepositional phrase, but then it is doing the work of an adjective here. How do we know? Let's eliminate this, and what we have is the book is mine. And someone will ask, which book? To describe the book I'm talking about, I will use the phrase on the table. The book on the table is mine. That can describe the book I am talking about. Then number 5, we have, they live in a very big house. The adjective phrase here is very big. Number 6, the man sitting in that office is my uncle. Sitting in that office is the adjective phrase, and this is a group of words containing a participle. The participle here is sitting. And how do we know that this group of words is doing the work of an adjective? We use the elimination method. Eliminate sitting in that office, and what we have is the man is my uncle. And the natural question is, which man are you talking about? The one sitting in that office. So sitting in that office becomes a group of words that describes the man, and that makes it an adjective phrase. Number 7, Olu killed a very long snake. Very long is the adjective phrase. Number 8, the women of this village are respectful. The adjective phrase is of this village is a prepositional phrase, but it is telling us more about the women. When you say the women are respectful, which women are you talking about? You are talking about the women of this village. So of this village is a group of words that describes the women we are talking about, and that makes it an adjective phrase. Number 9, Mary is fair in complexion. The adjective phrase here is fair in complexion. And here we have a group of words. We have an adjective followed by a preposition, a prepositional phrase, all right? Fair is an adjective, in complexion is a prepositional phrase. We earlier met it in pure in heart or poor in spirit, fair in complexion. Number 10, the last but not the least, all right? The boy in blue jeans is Mary's brother. So the adjective phrase is in blue jeans, which again is a prepositional phrase, but then it is doing the work of an adjective. Since it is a group of words, it's an adjective phrase. How do we know? We eliminate this. And then we have the boy is Mary's brother. The question is which boy? The one in blue jeans. So anything that helps you to describe a person or a thing is an adjectival element. If it is a single word, it's an adjective. If it is a group of words, which is somewhat like a fragment, all right? Then it is a phrase, all right? But then if it is, it's an adjective phrase, then when we discuss adjective clause, then you will know more what makes an adjective clause different from an adjective phrase? That's the topic for another day. But even right now, if you browse through this channel, you will find a lesson on adjective or adjectival clauses. All right, that will explain, give you a detailed explanation of what adjective clauses are and how they differ from adjective phrases. Now, this is exactly where we are going to draw the curtain on today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you actually like the video and share it with your friends and relations. All right. So we have been talking about adjective phrases in English and how to use them correctly. If you have a friend or relative or an associate who is going to sit for an English exam, such as the West African Senior School Certificate Examination or any other English exam in which one's knowledge of English grammar will be tested, then you will do them a great service if you share this video with them. Now, if you are interested in learning more about English grammar or aspects of English grammar, you can find a link to a free PDF ebook that I have given as a bonus in the description section below. If you click on it, you'll be able to download free of charge a free PDF ebook titled The Basic Units of English Grammar. You will also find other ebooks that I have authored. For example, Good Success in English is a complete package for effective English learning. If you are interested in gaining proficiency in the use of English, you need to obtain a copy of that ebook. You will also find another ebook titled How to Score High in Your English Exams, and some others. If you browse the description section, you will find these ebooks. You will also find a link to my website, the website for English classes online, which is www.englishclassesonline.com.ng. Of course, you will find a lot of free resources that will help you to gain proficiency in the use of English. Now, if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please leave them in the comments box below. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's video, and all of you out there who have actually given this channel your support. I want to say a big thank you, because we wouldn't have achieved the over 5,000 subscribers mark that we have achieved of recent without your support. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you. I am organizing a free masterclass for those who might be interested in doing what I am doing, teaching English online, or if you want to teach any other subject, then this upcoming masterclass will be of great help to you, because in that masterclass, I will be sharing tips and tricks and showing you and sharing very top ideas, key ideas on how you can set up your own online teaching business. All right. So if you are interested in that, then just sign up for the upcoming masterclass and you will be part of it. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly
subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video.